Hi there guys and welcome to another Trains in 2018 video. Today we are on not the new Portsmouth Direct Line. This is Portsmouth Direct Line updated, the first one. So it was the one that DPS did. It's available in the workshop if you own the original Portsmouth Direct Line. And this is the second part of a scenario that Chris is going to release. The first part, we've already seen the track and I've driven that to death, so I'm going to do part two. So now in part two, open the doors and get things ready. From here, your calling points are Brookwood, Ashvale, Aldershot, Farnham, Bentley and Alton. So let's get our doors open, get our master key on. Do that as usual. We're also using the AP sound pack. The link is on my Facebook group. It's done by a guy called Jake Fuller. It's very, very nice. It's L for the night light. There's lights on this. So yeah, with the AP sounds, I mean, come on, it's brilliant. Also, in this, we have the new third rail text, which will show you. We'll find a gap. Look at this. Now, this alone for me was worth it, just for a tiny little bit. Sometimes the little things that make the big things for me. Just where all the arcing is on the third rail on the sloped bit, it's just beautiful. It's really nicely done. .158s coming in. The 158s or 159s, or a combination of the two. 159s. Right, let's get moving. It's the first time I've driven the 450 in a video, and I do quite enjoy it. There's also some quite cool stuff further down here, so I'm going to take it a little bit slower just to show you what's up here. So Kailash 60 doing some shutters, 66 doing some shutters, sorry, 60. Silly boy, Alan, silly boy. And then over there is the Kiro rail crane. Oh, let's get that off. Let's do some train racing as well. So this is actually payware, it's not freeware. I bought it when it came out, actually. And Chris does put it in a few scenarios. I'm waiting for somebody to do a nice either Network Rail reskin, or I think it's a Balfour Beatty and Colas, I think, have one as well. You can't do anything with it. It's not animated or anything. I think there is. You get an asset where the jib's up and that, but you can't make it do it. So yeah, this was when the Portsmouth Direct Line came out. This was a sort of freeware upgrade to it that DPS did. If you literally just search in the workshop, Portsmouth Direct Line updated, you'll see it. I'm trying to keep speed, but it's actually dithering along there. So the actual whole 2 scenarios for this that Chris has done are brilliant. I did them on the stream the other night. And I've got another Portsmouth Direct Line one to do as well, a 442, which I really enjoyed. An 8 car, if I remember rightly, as well. Let's try and get the stopping points at least semi-accurate. She'll do. Oh, Alan, set up your headlights. Making old school mistakes in these last couple of videos. The Suburban Glasgow, I don't know if this will be up before that or the other way around, but I actually stop at a station I'm not meant to stop at, which I think I did on part 1 of this scenario when I did it on the stream. It's just been a pleasure to drive some of this southern stuff that I've never been massively into, and MKS and Armstrong Powerhouse hinted quite majorly the other day in my stream that they would like to see some Mark 1 slammers. And that would sort of tie in. AP very rarely do something just random, and the track upgrade with a more detailed third rail, and then them hinting about slamming stock is putting things in my mind. It's also got the TSD branding on it that is available on the Thomson Designs website. Sort of updates it a bit, doesn't it? Ashfield 2 and a bit miles still. I thought the stops were a bit closer together in this run. The scenarios like this I really like, that are sort of, sometimes it's nice to have something a bit special in a scenario, isn't it? And things to go wrong, or to have delays, or all that sort of thing. Sometimes it's nice just to do a scenario that is how it would be in real life, and then add in some nice variety of stock. I think that suits routes like this down to the ground. I'll switch over to my night headlights at the next, well, not this station, covered station after. I always still sort of panic that the braking is like the old ones. They found, I was speaking, people were talking about why the old 450 and 444 didn't stop so well. We found out that only the driving car, the actual bit you were driving, the one coach you were driving, had brakes, the rest didn't. Hence why the brakes were super duper rubbish. And I remember a little while ago, well, not a little while ago, when not long after it came out, I say a little while ago, it's probably about 5 years ago, there being a thread, it was either on UKTS or one of the railway forums or something, about how the braking was accurate. And then you hear things like this and you go, so I'm sure it was very accurate, wasn't it? So the track upgrades just look stunning. Now, don't get me wrong, there are ways of getting a similar, I'm not saying exact, but a similar experience freeware-wise, like the KV track packs that Johnny Best did, that I have played with and used since they've been around. Why did I buy the AP one? The AP one has retextured ballast, so it looks more British. It doesn't suit every route. I'm starting to discover it's not suiting every route, but so far all the routes I've driven it on, I've still enjoyed having it. You don't get as blatant a ground texture line as you do with some of the KV textures, because they're a bit lighter. Sometimes I think this is a bit too dark, and then sometimes I think the KV stuff's a bit too light. So there is sort of a happy medium to be found somewhere. I think, I'm sure somewhere somebody somewhere will retexture it along the lines. No pun intended. For convenience, whilst I know how to install the KV stuff in the freeware stuff, and it is quite simple, for a lot of people it isn't. So therefore, convenience is a big factor for this pack. The biggest one, I think, comes down to if you own the KV route or not. So if you own the KV route, you'll have the track and you'll be using the freeware upgrades. But it's 20 odd quid for the route. In the sale, it was on sale actually before. One of the Steam sales, it came down in price actually. So you could have got it in a sale, but if you haven't, and you don't drive German stuff, you're going to pay 24 quid for track. And you're still going to have to put everything in yourself. AP have done a deal with, I think it's Virtual Railroads, who made the KV route, and they're selling the track with it, so the track is included, which is really nice actually. So you don't have to buy the route that you're not going to drive. I haven't driven the KV route. It's a very nice route by all means. I have driven it. It's a very nice route, and everybody that drives it says it's lovely and wonderful and really, really pretty, but German stuff just isn't really my bag. Chris, who made this scenario, actually has driven the route, and he's not a big German fan, but he loves it. He loves it. But it's expensive. It's the going rate for a route, basically. And if you're just using it for one asset, that's where people moan about freeware stuff, isn't it? So what AP have done is say, right, $7.99, everything's included. I don't remember there being a red. $7.99's everything's included. There you go. One-click installer. Downsides to it for me, doesn't cover the JT stuff. Only covers Bristol Exeter. It doesn't cover any of the other Just Trains routes, which I'm sure has got to be some sort of licensing issue, or it's got to be a monetary thing. It doesn't sound like somebody would have done that for no reason. Q button's playing up. Or I'm just not hitting it right. Probably I'm just not hitting it. That looks very red. It's gone yellow. So all in all, I recommend it. I really, really recommend it. If you haven't already, if you've already got the KV route, then by all means go and do it the freeware way. If that's your game, if that's your bag, go for it. If you've got the KV route but haven't worked out how to put the packs in, go and get this. $7.99. What is it? Price of a couple of coffees. Coffee and a sandwich is going to cost you that these days, isn't it? Not even using my own beer analogy. It is 2 pints. It's less than 2 pints in a lot of places, to be honest. It's green. We definitely aren't a full car. There's the 8. Had my eyes on the 12 for some reason. So yeah, the way it works is it isn't actually a, well, kind of is 3D track, but not. It's done in 2 layers. Frame rate wise, most people are noticing a 2 to 3 frames per second drop, and that would be about true for the freeware one as well. So I wouldn't worry about it being a frame rate hit. I'll get a very steady 50 to 60 on this route. Hasn't dropped below 51 basically, which is quite nice. Let's change up my headlights now. Farnham, quicker through that section than I thought we would be. We've got to be careful because going up to 70 and then back down to 30 pretty quickly. I'll try and make up sort of 10 seconds or so that I'm late. Oh, 5 mile an hour out. See, still got some practice with this thing. Do love the passenger view in this. So nice. Nailed the approach on that one. Let's see if I can nail the stop in. Not a chance. Well, not too bad. Wouldn't win me any awards, would it? Oh, I thought I was ahead of it, if I'm honest. It's just about there, isn't it? Yeah. How are you guys? Oh, did you just notice that? Look, see that streaking? That's lovely, isn't it? That's really nice. I hadn't noticed it that much before. Very, very nice. And the graph wells very lit up, just because it's a lighter texture. Bentley and then Alton, actually. Not long to go at all. So what are your guys' views on it? What do you guys think about the AP track? I'd like to hear, and if we do, keep this, if it's an opinion, state it's your opinion. If it's a fact, it can be fact, but I don't want, oh, AP are just money grabbing. I've been through this. We've had it on the page, we've had it on the stream. It's a boring argument. It's not even an argument, really. It's not even an argument. Look at that. Another real positive about the new direct line, the new updated Portsmouth direct line, is that it seems incredibly stable. I've had one dump from it, one. And the loading times on the route are so quick. If anyone knows why that is either, could you let me know in the comments below as well? That'd be brilliant. It's just so rapid. You can be in a scenario in seconds. 20, 30 seconds, bang, you're in, you're ready to go. Some routes can take minutes. I think it's Bentley, we look like we're going wrong line working, but that's actually the way it is timetabled in on this scenario. In real life as well. A few people commented on this when I streamed it, and Chris was very clear that this is exactly how real-time trains paths it. Good old SDO. Oh, I might have got another. I might have got in. Maybe, just maybe, those second doors in there. I was early. It's quite a long stop anyway, really. Next stop and final stop is Alton, 4 miles. A place I've never been. Well, I was surprised at that. What is in Alton? Let's have a look. It's a market town and civil parish in Hampshire, England. 17,000 people. Breweries, there you go. It was where Coors Brewing Company had a brewery in Alton for 50 years, which produced Carling, Grolsch and Worthington. Closed in 2015 because it lost work from Heineken. Oh, that's probably bad. The paper as well. Oh, RBS is there. They have a Jane Austen week. And some famous Morris dancers. Some choirs. The Basingstoke and Alton Light Railway. Jane Austen came from Alton, well, Chawton, just outside Alton. The lead singer of Goldfrapp. Russell Howard studied at Alton College. There you go. Football player James William Jimmy Dickinson. There you go. There we go, we've had a little lesson on Alton in Hampshire now. Not to be confused with Alton Towers, Alton. Is Alton Towers even in a place called Alton? I don't know. And that sort of Staffordshire way, is it? I don't know. It's bad, I've been loads, I can tell you where it is. Stoke. Stoke Alton Towers? That's a like a castle, that looks like. Oh crap. Yeah, Matlock, Tamworth, Wolverhampton, all that jazz. Ooh, and I was about to overrun. That would be really bad because I wanted the screenshot as this end. No, I don't know if I'm happy with that. So the door's open anyway. What about the other end? Oh, no, that's quite nice, isn't it? Alright then guys, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. That is massively appreciated. You guys know it is. Join me on Twitch. If you want to see me live streaming, you can join in, a bit more interactive. It's a bit more adult, so do be warned about that. But that is from Sunday nights from 7 PM onwards, and on Wednesday nights from 7 PM onwards. Head over to Facebook for the Facebook group. All these links are in the description below. Facebook group, great for a bit of tech support, great for everything else, and a bit of general chit-chat about train sim, really, and some nice little tidbits and news and all that sort of jazz. But I've lost my mouse. So I can't stop it. So you're just going to have to hang on with me and get the end of the video. Until I do that. So you got a little bit extra from me then. Once again guys, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.